In this session, we will study the remaining part of chapter Projections of Planes. We have already started with this chapter and we have solved some problems. While solving problems, we have seen that in solving every problem on projections of planes, the first important thing is figuring out the data given in the problem. Invariably, the data given in the problem can be categorized under three headings. The first being shape of the plane, whether it is a triangle, rectangle, square, pentagon or hexagon. Our problems would be limited to these shapes only, and the dimensions required to draw these shapes. That would be the first part of the data. The second part of the data would be the condition with HRP. This data in turn will contain two subdatas. The first, some element of the given plane would be in HRP, be it a point of a given plane, one edge of the given plane or diagonal of the given plane. Something of the plane will be in HRP. That would be the first subcondition, and the second subcondition would be edge view would be making some angle with HRP. So the second data, that is condition with respect to HRP, will consist something of the plane in the HRP and edge view making some angle with HRP. The third data is the condition with FRP. In this data, some element of the plane, that is edge or diagonal, will be at some angle with FRP. So after reading the problem, every problem will consist of these three things. We have to figure out these three data types. Now we'll take one example and we will see what type of problems are there and how we can solve those. This first sample problem. A pentagonal plate of sides 25 mm is resting in HRP on one of its edges such that plate is inclined at 30 degrees to HRP. Complete the projections of plate if the edge on which it is resting is inclined at 40 degrees to FRP. We will not visualize, we will not imagine anything. Plainly we will go for figuring out data given in our format. So the first data we required is shape and dimension. So clear cut, the shape mentioned in the problem is pentagon. So we'll write down pentagon here, and its dimension. Minimum dimension required to draw a pentagon is length of the side, and it is given 25 mm. So the first data type is clearly figured out. It is a pentagon of sides 25 mm. Make a practice that whatever may be the shape mentioned in the problem, make a habit of drawing a rough diagram of that shape and nomenclature at this instant itself. So in our case, in this problem, it is a pentagon. So we have drawn a rough pentagon and I have nomenclatured it also. These are 5 corners, A, B, C, D, E. This is the first data. Second data is condition with HRP. Whatever there is in the problem with reference to HRP will form condition with respect to HRP. So if you read the problem, a pentagonal plate of size 25 mm is resting in HRP. So here there is a reference of HRP, so it will be a condition with HRP. Is resting in HRP on one of its edges. So as the plane is pentagonal plane, it will be having 5 edges. Out of those 5 edges, this pentagonal plate is resting in HRP on one of its edges. So out of 5 edges, one edge is in the HRP. So we'll write down that condition first. One edge is in the HRP. And immediately we will specify which edge that it will be. They have not specified any specific edge, so we have with us a rough drawing of pentagon, so we will specify that let this edge AB will be in HRP. This is the first condition. If you read further, HRP on one of its edges such that plate is inclined at 30 degrees to HRP. We have seen in earlier problems that whenever there is a mention that plane is inclined, plate is inclined, that means edge view is inclined. And in this problem it is given that edge view is inclined at 30 degrees to HRP. So this is second reference to HRP in the problem. So the second condition with respect to HRP is edge view is inclined at 30 degrees to HRP. Apart from these two references, there is no any other reference with respect to HRP in the given problem. So our second data type is complete. Now we will go to the third data, which is condition with FRP. Anything given with reference to FRP in the problem would form condition with FRP. And in our problem, if you continue the reading problem further, complete the projections of plate if the edge on which it is resting is inclined at 40 degrees to FRP. So with respect to FRP, angle is given and that angle is 40 degrees. And that angle is given between FRP and that edge on which it is resting. And already we have specified that the edge which will be resting in HRP is AB. So the third condition is edge AB and FRP are having angle 40 degrees with them. The only thing you have to concentrate is when there is a mention of that edge is inclined at 40 degrees to FRP, we mean the angle is between true length of edge and FRP. Now the significance of this step we will see later on when we are about to complete this step. Now this is very critical part, figuring out this data given. If we make any mistake in this, our problem or solution would be wrong. And if this step is correct, then 90% problem is solved. Merely work remaining is representing this data given sequentially. Now we will see how to solve this problem. And the problem will be solved in stages as same that of the data interpreted. The data is interpreted with the first thing shape and dimension. So we will draw the shape and dimension first. Second, condition with respect to HRP in solution also. We will complete condition with respect to HRP first. And lastly, we will complete condition with respect to FRP. So in a solution, our first step would be to draw the true shape of a plane, that is to draw a pentagon with given dimension 25 mm. So if you see, the first step of our solution is to draw true shape. Now we know that the true shape of given plane is pentagon, and pentagon can be drawn in a number of ways, but the drawing correct orientation is very important. In our problem, if you see, the condition with respect to HRP is with respect to edge of the plane. That's why in the first step, while drawing pentagon, we have to draw edge first on the left hand side. In other words, we have to keep that element free on the left hand side which is having some property or some condition with respect to HRP. So in our problem, condition with HRP is of the edge. That's why we are drawing this edge as a vertical first, and then we are drawing the remaining pentagon. Had our problem contained condition of plane with respect to point or corners, then we would have started with corner and we would have drawn pentagon. So drawing the first step is also critical. pentagon cannot be drawn in any orientation. It is drawn in such a orientation that the property would be kept free on the left hand side, which is having condition with HRP. So we will be drawing first AB as a vertical edge of given dimension 25 mm, and internal angle of pentagon we know 108. So at 108 angle here we will be drawing this second edge, 108 angle here we will be drawing this side of the pentagon, and this remaining two sides would be completed either with the help of angle or with the help of compass. So this would be the first step of our solution, that is drawing true shape of given pentagon with correct orientation. That is important. Now this is drawn in the top view of the diagram. We have seen in the basic lectures, this long basic reference line separates front view, which lies above, and top view, which lies below. And the same reference line will be called as HRP while analyzing front view, and it will be called as FRP while analyzing top view. This is the first step. Now second step is to draw the front view of this step. This is top view, true shape. And the property we have seen, if true shape of plane is seen in one view, then in its adjacent view it appears as a edge view, and we do draw edge view adjacent to true shape on the reference line. So in the second step we will be drawing edge view. We will project B point, A point. As we have drawn this edge as a vertical, the projectors of both these points would be same. This projection will be front view of A and B. This projector C and E will constitute front view of points C and E, and the sole point D will be having its front view as D here. And this line connecting all these front view in the form of straight line would be our edge view. So the first step of our solution is drawing true shape of a plane with correct orientation in top view and in front view, obtaining edge view on the HRP. Now in the second step of the solution, or rather third step of the solution, we will be completing condition with respect to HRP. In our problem there are two sub-conditions. The first sub-condition is it's one of the edge AB is in the HRP. Now at this position, if you see, every edge AB, BC, CD, DE and AE, all these 5 edges we have kept in HRP. But as per the condition, we have to keep only one edge in HRP. That's why we have to lift this edge view such that only specified edge AB would remain in HRP. So in the third step of the solution, we will lift this edge view. We will not change the dimension of the edge view. Whatever this length of edge view is there, at some appropriate distance we will keep this AB on HRP, and we will lift this edge view by second subcondition, that is this edge view is inclined at 30 degree to HRP. The important thing you have to note here, we are not changing dimensions of edge view. As it is, we are inclining edge view with the given angle with HRP. This would be the third step. This is front view as per the requirement, front view as per the condition with respect to HRP. Now we will complete the changed top view. We have made changes in the front view, so consequently there would be changes in top view, and the points in changed top view are obtained by projectors. Projectors from changed front view and corresponding projectors from previous top view, and the intersection of respective points will give the exact location of points in the changed top view. We have seen this, we have solved such problems. So from each point on this edge view changed to our front view, if you draw the projector and the corresponding projectors from the previous top view, we will be getting points at this location A, B, C, D and E. And after joining all these 5 points, this changed top view is complete. This would be our fourth step. So third and fourth step collectively complete the condition with respect to HRP. Only AB we have kept in HRP and we have given inclination to edge view as 30 degrees. So the second data, that is condition with respect to HRP, is complete. Now we'll go to the last, completing condition with respect to FRP. This also we have seen. Condition with respect to FRP will be completed by drawing another new reference line in the top view. This basic, again I am revising, it is very critical. If you draw any reference line in the top view, it would be FRP. If you draw any reference line in the front view, it would be HRP. In our problem, we are going to complete condition with respect to FRP. That means we need to draw FRP, new FRP. That's why we will be drawing FRP in the top view. And this FRP in the top view will not be drawn randomly at any location, but it will be drawn as per the condition. And the condition is the edge on which the pentagon is resting in HRP, it is inclined at 40 degrees to FRP. And we have specified that the edge which would be resting in HRP will be AB. So we will be drawing FRP, new FRP in the top view at an angle 40 degrees with edge AB. And I have said that this angle 40 degree is between FRP and true length of AB. Now how to decide whether AB is existing in true length here? There are two criteria. If any line to exist in true length in any one view, it has to appear in its adjacent view either as a parallel to reference line or as a point view. In our case, this line AB is existing as a point view in the front view. That's why it is appearing in true length in top view. That's why we can take angle 40 degree as it is. And we have constructed this new FRP as per the requirement. That's why this is the top view as per the final requirement. Now we want to draw front view here by projecting all these points A, B, C, D, E in this view. We know how to project point in any newly created view or any newly created plane. We draw projector from previous view, that is projectors from A, B, C, D, E in these new views, and on these projectors we transfer distance from next to adjacent plane. We want points in this plane, so we will skip this adjacent plane and we will move to the next to adjacent this, and we will transfer distances of A, B, C, E and D from this plane into this plane. So in the last step we will be transferring all points A, B, C, D and E in this new view by taking distances from next to adjacent. And finally we will join these points to complete our problem. So every problem would be completed in this sequence. We have solved these type of problems. Just for the sake of revision, we had taken this problem, and now in next session we will see some problems of complicated nature or trivial nature.